Travelers coming into the U.S. could soon face stricter COVID requirements. I'm Jonathan Seri in Atlanta. I'll have details coming up.
With colder weather on the horizon, a local expert has some advice to weatherize your home this winter. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with those tips.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. One man is in custody after authorities found stolen property and a large amount of meth at a home in Carl Junction. Detectives with the Ozarks Drug Enforcement Team served a warrant at a home in CJ after what they call a long-term investigation. When authorities arrived, they found several stolen items on the property, including a stolen pickup out of Cedar County, a UTV out of Kansas, a camper out of Jasper County, and several trailers. Odette detectives also found a large amount of meth in a camper on that property. J.M. Smucker Company announces it sold its dry dog food business located in Frontenac, Kansas. Diamond Pet Foods bought the business in a deal the company says is worth roughly $33 million. In a press release, Robba Ferguson, Senior VP and General Manager of Smucker's Pet Food Division, said, quote, "This divestiture enables us to focus investments and resources in areas of our pet food and pet snacks business positioned for growth and profitability." The company did not say, however, how this deal would affect employees at the Frontenac plant. Doug Caddy joining us now. Firstly, the forecast. Good temperatures, I'd say, for December.
Yeah, December really kicked off fairly warm. November ended up being a warm month overall, except really the first week of the month. But today, right back up into the mid-60s. 65 started at 48. Look at our average highs, 52, so well above that mark, and we're going to get even warmer over the next couple days. We do have some mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming through. Besides that, we're pretty quiet. Not too much is going on. Temperatures overall dropping back to about 50. We'll drop back into the mid 40s a little bit later on tonight. Of course, we're going to look at the rest of the week and into the weekend here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. White House making plans for new COVID testing requirements for inbound travelers. This new guidance at that, coming as public health officials confirm the U.S.'s first confirmed case of the Omicron variant. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Seri has more.
The California and San Francisco Departments of Public Health and the CDC have confirmed that a recent case of COVID-19 among an individual in California was caused by the Omicron variant.
South African researchers alerted global health officials to the Omicron COVID variant just last week. And since then, the new strain has fueled a wave of new travel requirements. Here in the U.S., the CDC plans to require inbound international travelers to be tested for COVID within 24 hours of departure. Travelers may also have to receive another test after arrival, regardless of vaccination status.
As we learn more information, we're going to continue to assess what additional steps should be taken.
The World Health Organization expects to have more information on Omicron's transmission in the coming days, but officials say it's likely vaccines will provide some protection against the strain.
We think vaccines will still protect against severe disease as they have against the other variants.
Drug makers here in the U.S. are doubling down on efforts to protect people against future COVID variants. Pfizer submitted a request to the FDA to authorize its COVID booster for 16 and 17-year-olds. Federal regulators are also considering authorization for Pfizer's and Merck's COVID pills. Public health officials say with protective measures available, now is not the time to panic.
Have common sense. Do the right thing. We have weapons against this virus now. Don't overreact.
Tomorrow, President Biden will announce plans to enhance the fight against COVID. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
All right, now that it's time to get ready for December, Christmas is on the way, right? Might be also time to get the home ready for colder weather. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky is both a weatherization expert on the most cost-effective ways to get that home ready for winter.
As winter approaches, colder temperatures are on the horizon. Experts say it's best to start preparing for them now.
You just never know in Missouri when the weather's going to turn. We're weatherizing all year round, but we definitely have people calling in now with asking for these low-cost, no-cost tips, and I would definitely get going on it before the cold weather hits.
Brian Peterson is the Director of Weatherization for the Economic Security Corporation in Joplin. He says that after how cold winter was last year, it's important to take measures to ensure you can keep yourself warm this winter. And they offer services to do that at little to no cost.
A lot of people, even though they thought they were prepared, they weren't prepared. So definitely, take all the measures you can to be prepared.
Measures such as leaving your faucet dripping or keeping cabinets open.
That will help the water lines in your house to not freeze. So leaving them dripping, and it's got to be a pretty consistent drip. But yeah, leaving the cabinet doors open, allowing heat to get in there, maybe some portable space heaters in the bathrooms or areas that are secluded.
If you are worried about keeping your home warm this winter and don't know where to begin, Peterson says they're here to help.
We provide a low-income weatherization program. We operate at 200% of the federal poverty level is our income guidelines. So we encourage everybody to get in an application.
With new federal money from the recently passed bipartisan infrastructure bill, Peterson says they're encouraging more people to apply.
There was money for weatherization in that. So we will be getting a pretty significant influx of money, and we're looking to ramp up our waiting list. So if you think you might qualify, we encourage you to apply.
In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
One of Peterson's biggest tips to keep energy costs low this year is to turn down that thermostat 5 degrees. It could save between $150 to $250 a year. Today at McDonald County Schools, kids are breaking the rules. Look at that, wearing hats in school. Now, they were allowed to do that because they donated at least $1 to the county's Shop with a Hero program. That program matches a child in need with an area first responder to go shopping for Christmas gifts.
Shop with a Hero is to me an amazing community event that involves both the schools and all the first responders in our area, and then also our families. So it is the true epitome of what a community is when they come together and support one another.
McDonald County's Shop with a Hero program usually serves around 140 kids, but because of an increased need this year, the department is setting a goal to serve 200 families. President Biden addressing the ongoing supply chain choke points as the holiday shopping season moves into full swing. And whether it's shortages, inflation, or the new Omicron variant, the administration suddenly finds itself confronted with an array of economic challenges that could turn into political problems ahead of next year's midterms. Fox's Lauren Blanchard reports.
We're looking ahead to a brighter and happier December.
Holiday shopping is in full swing, and President Biden says his policies have the supply chain moving along.
We averted a potential crisis by figuring out what needed to get fixed, and then we brought people together to do the hard work of fixing it.
In a speech Wednesday, he said it's due to 24/7 operations at the nation's largest shipping ports, incentives for off-peak hours loading and unloading, relaxed regulations on some truck drivers, and increased cooperation with the private business sector.
I can't promise that every person will get every gift they want on time. Only Santa Claus can keep that promise.
When it comes to the prices we see at stores, he says it's because of the ongoing pandemic, not government spending by his party.
This is a worldwide challenge, a natural byproduct of a world economy shut down by the pandemic.
A point echoed by the Federal Reserve Chairman.
I would say that the inflation that we're seeing is still clearly connected to pandemic-related factors.
Republicans, however, say the rising prices are a Democratic-created problem, one that voters are not likely to forget next year.
They want to know why these prices keep going higher and higher.
The president also used his speech to campaign for his nearly $2 trillion Build Back Better bill, which Republicans are firmly against. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Eric Troth, serving in the Army, a native of Mound City, Kansas. Troth was stationed in Iraq, and we are proud to thank and salute Sergeant Eric Troth. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug is up next with a complete look at the forecast. A bit later in sports, going to hear from the Webb City Cards as they prepare for Friday's state championship game in Columbia.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice day for us today. Temperatures fantastic, mid-60s once again, as we've been well above average for several days now. And we look pretty good right now. We have a great shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Mostly clear skies. We have some very thin upper level clouds. All right, let's go back to November. The first week was chilly. Blue days are days below normal. Red days are days above normal, and the above beat the below. But what you really see here is so many 70s, almost an 80, and so many 60s. So overall, as a whole, November was pretty good. we warmed up majority days above average, and we're starting December, obviously, the exact same way, and we're going to stay with that trend for the next few days. Temperatures right now, upper 40s to lower 50s. We're still going to drop back a little bit more for us tonight, but it's not going to be cold. We have just kind of a light southwesterly wind, and these are actually going to pick up a little bit for us tomorrow. Currently outside, we have mostly clear skies, 48. Humidity is at about 71%, and we've had some clouds kind of sneaking throughout the evening hours, but these are going to break up and we'll see clear skies by morning. But besides that, there's nothing really going on. In fact, all the way out to the west, nothing going on. This is the pattern. This is a very classic La Nina pattern where we have big upper level high. Everything rotates around. Our temperatures are fairly warm and all the snow stays to the north. That's what we are seeing. But once this high breaks down, because there are segments in the pattern that they will break down, we'll get some snow chances in here. For us tonight, we drop back mainly low to mid 40s, and then we start warming up tomorrow. We get southerly winds. We're going to warm into the low 70s. I think our western counties mid, maybe even upper 70s. 69 by noon, high temp right around 74. South winds at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow night looks pretty good. We only drop back near 50. We start to get a few clouds in here late tomorrow night into Friday morning. Partly sunny skies on Friday, but still temperatures pretty good. We go back into lower 70s for highs. But Friday night, we get a very weak little wave. Can't get any big systems in here, just a very weak little wave that gives us a few random showers. And this is going to last into Saturday. We're going to have some hit and miss showers during the day, but I still think we'll go into the 60s for highs. Even Sunday, we should be into the 60s the first half of the day, and then a cold front drops through and we really drop. And we could even get some light snow showers with it. Does not look like it will be a big deal, but something we'll watch now that we are into the winter months. 74 tomorrow, 72 Friday, 64 Saturday, 63 and dropping on Sunday. In our second half hour, we'll do the month-long forecast. We'll take a look at Christmas and New Year's.
Isn't that something? December 1st already.
Just flies by, doesn't it?
That's how the calendar goes, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't change.
It keeps getting faster and I keep getting older.
It does, though,
Yeah.
doesn't it? All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much, Doug. Coming up, one common question. Why, after an incident in Michigan?
The investigation ramps up after a school shooting here Tuesday. I'm Steve Harrigan in Oxford, Michigan. That story ahead.
Still don't know why a 15-year-old sophomore allegedly opened fire at his Michigan high school yesterday. Fox News correspondent Steve Harrigan has more now from Oxford, Michigan.
I think this is every parent's worst nightmare.
At least 4 students are dead and 8 people injured, but there is still no word on what motivated a school shooting on Tuesday. It happened here in Oxford, Michigan. A 15-year-old sophomore allegedly opening fire out of nowhere. At least one student, a captain of the football team, was killed while trying to disarm him. Police arrived about 5 minutes later. They confronted the shooter, who immediately put his hands over his head and surrendered.
We are charging this individual with 1 count of terrorism causing death, 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder, and 12 counts of possession of a firearm and the commission of a felony.
When the shooting started, students barricaded themselves in classrooms behind stacks of desks and chairs while the gunman went door to door.
We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door and look at my bag, bro.
Here in Oxford, community leaders held a vigil on Tuesday night, and while grieving students and parents begin the mourning process, most say they are trying to keep the focus on their loved ones.
I just need to focus on bringing our community together.
Police say the gun used in the shooting was purchased by the shooter's father just 4 days before the shooting. In Oxford, Michigan, Steve Harrigan, Fox News.
All right. Next, staffing issues impacting vacation plans, hitting many industries, including those ski resorts. Change at Twitter when it comes to privacy. The company now prohibiting users from sharing photos or videos of a private person without that person's permission. The ban is more broad than U.S. law, by the way, which allows people to be filmed or photographed when in public places. If you're getting ready to hit those slopes, you may want to reconsider those travel plans. Many popular ski resorts facing a severe staffing shortage What isn't though, right? For tonight's story, Fox Business Network's Ashley Webster is in Aspen, Colorado with more.
It's December in Aspen, Colorado. That means ski season, and already they're hitting the slopes. Not a lot of snow this year, and so thank goodness they can make snow. But as you can see from the Browner Mountains in the distance, there hasn't been the start to the ski season that perhaps they would like. But perhaps a bigger problem for some of these ski resorts, and Aspen included, is finding the workers to make this whole thing work. And that is a problem because Aspen is so expensive, as we know. Workers who want to work here on the ski lifts or down in the rental offices, they just can't afford to live here. And joining me now is Jeff Henley with the Aspen Ski Company. Jeff, you have applicants. People want to work here, but they just can't find anywhere to stay. It's so expensive, right?
Yeah, it's getting extreme. It's getting to the point where it's untenable to run our business the way we've run it for decades. 75 years is how long we've been here. So there's got to be coming together of the community to solve this problem.
Well, you offer bedrooms for your employees. Some of the retailers down at the bottom of the slope in the city proper, they don't have that luxury. So it is impacting retail. Some places having to close a day or two. That's got to hurt the town as a whole.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's a problem that we as a community face. It's not just a ski operator problem. It's a problem for every restaurant, every shop, every t-shirt shop, every clothing store in town, that we all have to come together and find some kind of solution for it.
Well, the other thing you're praying for, I know that snow. What's going on this year? I mean, you know, climate change and everything, but there is not a lot of snow in the Rockies.
Yeah, it's been a tough year, and it's not just, we've had dry years before, but this is so unseasonably warm. We can't even make snow some days, and it's December. So we should be having snow guns going nonstop everywhere, and we just can't do it because it was 30 degrees this morning when we got up to the top of the mountain, and that's not cold enough to make snow.
We're at 11,000 feet, and it was 30 degrees early in the morning. That's crazy stuff.
And it's not just here; it's all over the West. So it's a big problem that needs to be addressed.
So you can be pretty certain that what Aspen would like for Christmas, one, affordable housing where workers can actually live and work, and secondly, snow. Any snow and colder temperatures. This is very unusual. In Aspen, Colorado, Ashley Webster, Fox News.
Coming up, turns out babies might have a whole list of jokes ready to tell mom and dad once they can start talking. Looking to make that baby laugh? You only have to wait about a month. Oh, look at that cute little baby. New research suggests babies develop a sense of humor at about 1 month old. At this young age, parents can start to notice their babies reacting to silly faces or voices, peekaboo, or tickling. From there, the infant's humor becomes more refined, with 11-month-olds more likely to make their own jokes or laugh at play acting, animal sounds, startling others, or taboo topics like toilet talk. Parents, you know, right? Parents, you know. Researchers hope further studies are going to help identify how humor helps children develop and grow. I submit to you, though, that babies are born with a sense of humor. Well, I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, you wanted to get some sleep tonight? We'll see how that goes. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. Some tree lighting ceremonies tonight. Going to visit some of them. Also, going to see the hard work of some social work students at Pitt State, how they've been helping members of the community. Joplin today became more festive and bright. Missouri Southern, for example, lit up its Christmas tree and lights outside of the Student Center today in an event called Southern Lights. University was also offering carriage rides right there, arts and crafts, also a photo booth.
Really our thought process is it's almost finals week, so we want to have a nice activity for them to kind of, break up the stressors of, getting ready for finals and studying.
Southern Lights event was also a chance for students participating in the school's Angel Tree program to pick up their gifts. Residents at Spring River Christian Village in Joplin have a new festive display to look at. Senior Living Facility today hosted a lighting ceremony for its Village of Lights. Area businesses were also able to rent a space in the display to advertise. While the Christmas season is filled with lots of joy and cheer for many people, for some it can bring up feelings of loss and grief. So we spoke with a mental health expert at the Ozark Center Hope Spring facility, and she has a few tips. First, find a safe place to share your feelings with others who are going to understand. Also, take care of yourself physically, staying hydrated and healthy. Practicing a sensible routine, you can rejuvenate yourself. And another important tip, don't shy away from those emotions.
Ourselves permission to feel our feelings. You know, there is no rule book. I think that's another reason that grief is so misunderstood and feared, is because nobody really wrote a handbook on how to manage it.
Another tip, turn off social media at night. Try reading a book instead to reset before bed. Social work students at Pitt State today showcased their hard work. The Community Project Showcase was a chance for students to present how they've been helping members of the community, ranging from foster children to veterans.
With this project, my main help was to raise awareness for it. And so with these veterans that are already in housing units, I help them by collecting items that could be donated to them for household use, you know, like toilet paper, paper towels, paper plates, silverware.
Social work students at PSU can now pursue a master's degree through a partnership with KU. Researchers may have discovered what causes Alzheimer's. A potentially life-changing study suggests the root cause of Alzheimer's disease has to do with the body's ability to get rid of faulty proteins. Scientists call the process of dispelling these proteins autophagy and believe when certain proteins build up in cells, it could lead to the deadly disease. More Americans are applying for a new credit card. Federal Reserve Bank of New York says close to 27% of U.S. consumers reported in October they signed up for a new card. That's a rate not seen since before the pandemic, by the way. Demand for cards and loans declined early in the pandemic because Americans were concerned about taking on new debt, and restrictions on travel and dining resulted in weaker demand for those credit cards. Arguments coming to a close after nearly 2 hours in a landmark abortion case before the U.S. Supreme Court. Today, justices heard from Mississippi's Solicitor General, who argued the High Court should consider overturning Roe v. Wade, uphold a state law instead that bars abortions 15 weeks after conception. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
Protesters outside of the Supreme Court as justices heard arguments for roughly 2 hours over a Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks. The case posing the biggest challenge to Roe v. Wade in decades.
Hands off our babies! Hold quiet!
Chief Justice John Roberts questioned why abandoning abortions after 15 weeks wouldn't give women enough time to terminate a pregnancy.
Why would 15 weeks be an inappropriate line?
Justice Brett Kavanaugh, meanwhile, listing several cases in which the court had overturned long-held precedents.
Doesn't the history of this court's practice with respect to those cases tell us that the right answer is actually to return to the position of neutrality and not stick with those precedents in the same way that all those other cases didn't?
Should Roe be overturned, abortion would probably become illegal in at least 20 states, according to the Guttmacher Institute. The court's liberal justices arguing such a decision could undermine the court's legitimacy.
Will this institution survive the stench that this creates in the public perception that the Constitution and its reading are just political acts? I don't see how it is possible.
The Supreme Court likely won't make a decision on the Mississippi case until June, which could be a hotly contested issue ahead of the midterm elections. At the Supreme Court, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
A bit later, the future of a golf legend.
Golfing legend Tiger Woods questioning his future professional career. I'm Kevin Cork with an inside look at the athlete's recovery and why he says he may not play full-time golf ever again. That's coming right up.
It definitely turned out to be a nice day for us today. Right back up into the mid-60s for highs. Of course, we're cooling off now. We've dropped about 15 degrees from our high, but in general, still looks pretty good. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, temperatures for the month of November. The first week was pretty cool for November. We had some hit and miss days in there, but overall, it was a nice month. A lot of 60s, a lot of 70s, almost an 80. So pretty good. And we've been above normal now for 5 or 6 days, and we're going to continue that stretch at least over the next few days, at least for the first week of November. Temps right now upper 40s to near 50 degrees. We have these light kind of southerly winds which have been kicking in throughout the day. Very light, not a big deal. Looks fine, 7th and range line. Currently outside sitting at 48. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Humidity is at 71% with a few clouds which have been kind of sneaking through the region during the evening hours. Besides that, looks pretty good. We just have these weak little waves. And if we go out west, not much going on. No big storm systems. We're not going to see any big storm systems for at least a week or so. We get some stronger systems, but not any big ones moving in. All right, for us tonight, mainly into lower 40s. We're going to see a nice day tomorrow. We're going to have a great warm up as we go into lower 70s for highs. We'll start at 46, 69 by noon. High temp right around 74 during the afternoon. Tomorrow night looks good. We drop back near 50. And then we do it again on Friday. We're going to have some more clouds, but we're going to go into the lower 70s for highs. Then one of those weak waves roll in Friday night into Saturday, a few scattered showers, and this will continue, kind of hit and miss throughout the day on Saturday. Not a huge deal. I still think we'll go into the 60s, but we are going to have some hit and miss showers out there. And then a cold front swings in on Sunday. We turn sharply colder. Could even get some light snow showers by the time we head into Sunday evening. If we did get that, it doesn't look like it'd be a very big deal. All right, 74 tomorrow, 72 Friday, 64 on Saturday, 63, but dropping into the 20s during the evening hours. Only 45 on Monday. Tuesday, kind of back up. Wednesday, back down. We can look at the rest of next week. So this is your first full week of December. We have another weak little wave, but we are going to get some rain chances next Thursday, Friday, and then also on Saturday. So as we look at the month-long forecast, this is based off my pattern. I've been working on this for about 22 years. We're now in the second cycle. Overall, we're going to have above average temps. It does start to get active again. We get back into the part of the pattern that we were in October when we had all those severe weather events. We have 3 shots for snow this month. 2 little ones, 1 bigger one. So let's break it down for you. Let's go into the middle of the month. So we took care of next week. So as we go to the 12th, 13th, a bigger storm system. Good chances for thunderstorms out of that one. And then a little smaller system with some showers by the middle of the week. You can see the second half of the week cools down. We warm back up the weekend before Christmas. So 1 weekend before Christmas, nice mild start to the week, some showers, and then we cool down. And as we go into Christmas Eve, we do have a storm system. Rain or snow. I'm leaning a little bit more toward rain, but it could be snow. Our best shot for snow is after Christmas, leading up into New Year's. And that's going to be a much colder week. So that will be the coldest week of the month. And that's our best shot for some decent snow right around the 28th-ish of the month. Overall, not a bad month, but it is trending colder.
So nice to get snow on Christmas Eve, though.
It'd be nice. We haven't had snow on Christmas Eve since 2009.
That's something.
Yeah.
All right, Doug Heddy, thank you. Coming up in sports, going to hear from the Webb City Cards on Friday night state championship game in Columbia. Also, the Pitt State Gorillas opening the MIAA season at home against Newman. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
The Webb City Cardinals are just 2 days away from playing for a football state championship. The Cardinals hit the field on Friday night in Columbia, facing Holt in the Class 5 state title game. Now, Webb City's 10-3 heading into Friday's game, while Holt is undefeated, sitting at 13-0. Now, the Cardinals, as you know, no strangers to beating undefeated teams. They knocked off undefeated Carthage for the district title, then undefeated Jackson in the state semifinals last week. So they're definitely not shying away from the challenge. Plus, the Webb City, all right, they're ready to go.
What makes you stronger is when you fail. What makes you stronger is when you don't have immediate success and when you have to work and you have to battle a little bit harder for it. And I think that would really sum up this team and where we're at, you know, versus, you know, some teams that don't ever get pushed or don't ever have to regroup and you know, reevaluate themselves. You know, we've been doing that all year long, just trying to figure it out.
This team, like, when we have our back on the wall, we don't stop. We're going to keep battling until the end, and I think that's shown throughout the season.
Well, tonight is a big night for Pittsburg State basketball. The Gorillas hit the floor at home tonight for their MIAA conference opener against Newman. On the women's side, Pitt State has a little momentum. They're 4-1 on a 3-game winning streak. Young players going to work in the third. Corinna Gerber off the nice dish from Jamie Jackson. Gerber scores 10. Then another freshman, Grace Pyle, steps out, hits the long ball. 11 tonight for Pyle. But this one, nice night for the seniors. Specifically, Erin Davis set a career high with 20 on Saturday, and that 3 there gives her a new career high with 21 points tonight. Then Tristan Gaig in the 4th. You know what she's about. Gaig gets 11 with 4 assists. Sydney Crane, another good night all around. Connects from deep. She scores 9 with 6 assists. Gorillas blow out Newman 88-50. Here's Erin Davis on her new career high, 21 points.
I'm here. I'm excited for it every day. I think my teammates are really helping me find my open shots, so I think that's really what's going well for me right now.
It's moving really slow for her, the game is, and so I think that that's where she's able to really get her feet set, and she's just, like I said, playing free. They're having a lot of fun right now, and I think there's just a really good vibe going on right now between teammates.
To the men now, the Gorillas aiming for back-to-back wins in their conference opener against the Jets. A good start. Cameron Hoofner gets the lay-in and the foul. Gorillas on top early. Newman got a little hot. Israel Barnes hits the 3. Jets go up 17-10. But the Gorillas close the half strong. Tyler Hawkins behind everybody for the two-handed jam. He scores 12. A local guy alert. Magic Relaford bangs in the 3. Isaiah James, who was on fire tonight, beats the shot clock here, finished with a team-high 24. Dejon Waters bucket and the foul. He gets 9 and 5. Gorillas win their MIAA opener tonight, 71-66. Joplin High School senior Ella HAFER signs today to continue her basketball career at the college level. HAFER is heading to Miami, Oklahoma next season to play at NEO. The 6-foot forward played just 2 games in her junior season last year due to injury. Now, though, she's back and healthy for her senior season. Through 4 games, she's averaging 10 points per night. Now, she's excited to show what she can do this year and excited for the opportunity to keep playing after high school.
It means a lot. I didn't think I'd be here this time last year when I got hurt, so I'm just very thankful. It was a long process getting back, but I'm just thankful for my team and all the coaches I've had that have helped me get right back into it.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
One of the world's greatest golfers questioning his professional career and reflecting on his legacy. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork has more on why Tiger Woods may never compete again.
I don't foresee this leg ever being what it used to be. Clock's ticking. I'm getting older.
Golf legend Tiger Woods facing an uncertain future, revealing Tuesday he doesn't know if he'll be able to play full-time at the professional level ever again. During his first news conference since his tragic car accident back in February.
The full practice schedule and the recovery that it would take to do that, no, I don't have any desire to do that.
Police say Woods was traveling over the speed limit down a Los Angeles road notorious for car accidents when he crashed an SUV, suffering serious injuries to his right leg and requiring intensive surgery. Since then, Woods says he's been making progress, adding that he's come back from surgeries before, but still has an awful long way to go.
As far as playing at the tour level, I don't know when that's going to happen. Now, I'll play around here and there, a little hit and giggle. I can do something like that.
And while the prospect of not being able to compete again is crushing for many an athlete, Woods says his last win at the 2019 Masters tournament is putting him at peace.
It's been tough at times, yes. Some dark moments, but then again, as I was making progress through it too, I could see some light.
Woods promises to keep fans up to date on his recovery and if his future in the sport ever changes. Until then, he says he's enjoying the extra time that he now has to spend with his kids. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Gonna check out a new Western drama, The Power of the Dog. An Oscar-nominated actor goes back in time to play a 1920s rancher with a cruel streak in the new film, The Power of the Dog. Fox's Steve Rappaport has this story.
What you doing? getting mixed up with her.
Benedict Cumberbatch saddles up as a bullying cowboy with a hidden life in the Western drama The Power of the Dog.
He can't live his full authentic life. He can't be who he discovered he was when he was very young, and everything of that has been locked away.
Set in 1925 Montana, Cumberbatch plays a cruel rancher who torments his brother's new wife and her son after moving onto his property.
Has this experience of deep jealousy and alienation and terror at the idea of his brother no longer being by his right-hand side, losing not just him but everything they've worked for, and it just catalyzes this fear.
Though the film is based on a novel written more than 50 years ago, the cast says the story still reflects the social expectations of what masculinity is.
Just exploring the ways in which that can be a facade and a mask and covering something that is less masculine and more vulnerable and complicated.
It kind of recontextualizes what we think is strong and how we generalize the image of that for both women and men, and how we tend to put that in a categorized box.
Portraying a suppressed woman from the 1920s was challenging for Kirsten Dunst.
It's so far away from who I am, so it's like it's not necessarily a fun role to play. It was kind of a painful and insecure place to work in every day, and I felt like I had a lot of old feelings that I had to magnify and express.
The Power of the Dog is playing in select theaters and available on Netflix now.
A man was made by patience.
Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with video of a baby pygmy hippo at a French zoo. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.